air feels good right here. Breathing in this air right here. I'm underneath this big ass mango tree. Got my phone propped up on a coconut shell. It's still rainy season here in Tanzania. It smells so fresh right now, but so either they don't know, don't show, or don't give a damn about what they learning and what they not learning. Man, I had this topic I wanted to speak about, but after doing research yesterday, I believe that this topic is going to go into what I believe into, and then move on to health. Just from doing research, some research last weekend, some research last night. So have y'all ever thought about where we actually come from? Like, who was the first person on this planet? And was the first person on this planet, was it, when it first started, was it just one person, or was there multiple people on the planet? Did they pop up at the same time? And how did they know, like, how did they know anything? What they eat, what they do? And then another thing was, if the first person came, or the first people came as a baby, as an infant, who took care of the baby? Who raised this baby? Who nurtured the baby? Who fed the baby? Who protected the baby from harming itself? Who protected the child from crawling into a lake or something and drowning, or falling over a cliff, or, you know, who taught the child to walk? Or was the first people adults that already knew how to function? This is things I think about. Just imagine, like, you been the first person on this planet, and like you've been by yourself, like say you're a teen or an adult, or that's just it's mind-boggling. But say you're an adult and you're just wandering around, like you don't even really know how to walk. Maybe like you first start off crawling, then start walking, and you're like stumbling and don't even really know how to walk, and then you look into a lake and see your reflection in the water, and you're like, what the heck is that? Is that me? Like, it's just so crazy when you think about it. Like, where did the first people come from? And was the first being on this planet by itself, or did they show up with people with them, like with partners and stuff, or you know? So what I thought about a few years ago, I remember I was meditating and something hit me, and I'm like, oh, I think we started off as plants. Like, we grew like trees and plants did, the first beings. Because I got my notebook here. Did y'all know that everything that make up stars also makes up everything that's on the planet, even humans? We also have the same thing the same elements that make up stars make up our bodies, and trees and flowers and fruits, and you know, see, but they say we're all the same, you know, blacks and whites, and we're not. So I don't even know if they got the star stuff in them. I don't believe they really come from the stars. You know, they try to put everybody together as one. Um, and I just don't believe that they had the same star stuff in them as us, because we're just not the same. And another thing, I don't even know how they found out what elements are in our body. I know how they found out what elements are in the stars. They use this tool, some type of scope, where it sees the different lights on the stars, and each element has its own color. And so when they look up at the stars, they see different colors, and that shows the elements. But I'm not sure how they found out what elements we have in our body. Like, it's easy to tell we have you know, water in us, H2O and oxygen, but they say most of our body is made up of H2O, oxygen, and hydrogen. I just don't know how they know these things. How, like, do they cut a piece of her skin and somebody seen the I don't know. I don't know. But so yeah, what I was thinking is, when we see shooting stars and falling stars, because they fall and shoot all day in the skies, and I was thinking maybe them stars are coming down and like dropping seedlings into the ground and producing trees and plants and things. And that's how the first people was made, was coming from a tree. And then I take some references from the Bible, because there's some truth in the Bible, the science and the astrology in the Bible. You just got to know how to read it. But in the Bible, in Genesis, it speaks about the tree of life, and it says that new souls was created from the tree of life. So if trees have the same thing that stars have, the same elements, and so do we, that we come from trees first, that we grow in like pods, and you know, come that way, because it's just. And then it talks about God, you know, created us out of the dirt. I never seen no white dirt, so couldn't be talking about no Caucasian, no Caucasoid. So that we grow from the ground like plants and trees. That's what I'm thinking. It makes a little bit of, it makes some sense. And then, you know, like some babies, they're born with the green patch on them. A lot of black babies got the green patch on them. So I'm like, I wonder if that's because we come from plants and stuff. I just can't see. It's hard to imagine a first person being created and being by itself, and especially if it was a baby taking care of itself and knowing how to fend for itself, eat, and you know, it's just crazy when you actually think about it. So I want to talk about the elements that we have in us. Stars. The elements that make up stars is hydrogen, helium, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and iron. And these same things are in plants. And the only difference between us and plants is plants have chlorophyll, which makes them green. The sun they feed off the sun, and the sun gives them chlorophyll, and the process, you know, is photosynthesis, and it turns to chloroplast, and it makes them green. And us, we have everything that the plants have except for chlorophyll and a chloroplast. We have iron. Plants also have iron, but they have ferrous iron, like Ferrous. They have that type of iron that you get out the ground. We have the iron that starts with a H. I forgot what it's called, but we have that iron. And when the sun feeds us, we get vitamin D synthesis, where our skin takes in the vitamin D and turns it into energy. And you know, whites can't be in the sun because it'd kill them. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, we're not the same. So let me see something real quick. It's a spectrometer. It's used to determine the elements in stars. Stars are burning gas. The spectrometer shows what colors are burning in the stars, and each element has a color. Plants contain carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, zinc, sulfur, boron, iron, copper, magnesium, and a few other things. The chlorophyll takes the sunlight and converts it into glucose, sugar, and oxygen. That's what feeds the plants. Plants need a certain amount of iron to survive. Iron helps them create chlorophyll. Too much iron can weaken and kill the plants. I got a lot of stuff written down. I just don't. This video is going to be so long. Okay, vitamin D synthesis. I already read this, but vitamin D can be synthesized when skin is exposed to sunlight, and then it is metabolized into the liver and kidney to the metabolically active form called 1A25, and it's a big word, dihydroxy vitamin. Well, it's not that big. D. Through binding the vitamin D receptor, which regulates the expression of hundreds of genes involved in skeletal and other biological functions. So now, I told you I was going to go from that to health, because there's a lot of people that suffer from diseases, lupus, anemia, kidney problems, and I'm saying it's because the lack of vitamin D. And that means it's a lack of sunlight, and most of these people are in the United States, where people lack the sun, the vitamin D. Let me read some stuff real quick. Humans need iron for a healthy cell growth. Vitamin D, the sun gives us iron. Vitamin D may influence metabolism and erythropoiesis, erythropoiesis, which is the body's process of making red blood cells. Iron is essential for vitamin D synthesis. Low vitamin D levels is associated with iron deficiency, anemia. Anemia is a lack of iron, which means you need sunlight, because vitamin D and the sun gives you, raises your iron level. Lupus. People with lupus have low vitamin D levels. 50% of people with lupus suffer from anemia. So like I read before, vitamin D, it, through binding the vitamin, hold on, let me read this to y'all again. Vitamin D synthesis. Vitamin D can be synthesized in skin that is exposed to sunlight, and it is then metabolized in the liver and kidney. So that's saying that you need sunlight in order for your kidney and liver to work properly. Through binding vitamin D receptor, which regulates the expression of hundreds of genes, the sunlight, it helps your genes involved in skeletal and other biological functions. I think a lot of this sickness, anemia and lupus, even though I read it says that sun can cause flare-ups of rashes for people that have lupus, but it's just hard to believe, because lupus is found in African American women. Look, Black and Hispanic women have the highest risk of developing lupus. Causes of lupus are unknown, but believed to be linked to environment, hormonal factors, and genetics. Environment. In America, you're not getting no vitamin D. You're not getting no sun all year round. Then the hormonal thing. The sun controls your hormones. The vitamin D, the vitamins control your hormones in your body. Then when you're eating a diet that you're not supposed to be eating, meats and cheeses, dairies and shit, and then getting inoculated, getting shots, I'm pretty sure they're giving people lupus and stuff by the diets, by blocking out the sun, and by taking these inoculations. So even though I read the sun can be a problem for people with lupus, I don't believe it. It's hard to believe. But what do y'all think? Where do y'all think we come from? Damn, this is my longest video yet. Where do y'all think we come from? How do y'all think the first person or persons was created? Was it one person, or was there just a lot of us growing from the trees like fruit and just drop them and we start walking? Or what do y'all think? Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Please don't comment on my Facebook, in my messenger. That's why they had a comment section on YouTube. Please don't comment on Facebook, comment on the YouTube. I thank you. Asante Sana Tutanana Badai. Asante Sana, that means thank you very much. Tutanana Badai means I will see you later. Kwaheri means goodbye. Peace.